You are now watching abnormal television. There are images that defy logic, recordings untouched by reason, and moments that science cannot explain. Each frame, a whisper from the unknown. Open your eyes. You've entered the abnormal.
So let me see if I got this straight. You're trying to tell me that this is a natural rock formation? Oh, you son of a ballbag. This is known as the Three Rock Whales in Thailand, and it's been given that name because people say it resembles a family of whales, a mommy whale, a daddy whale, and a baby whale. But the official narrative says that it's just a natural rock formation that was formed over 75 million years ago. But check the catch. 75 million years ago, this whole region was underwater. Oh, we got your ass now. So what people are saying is that the reason why they look like whales, because brother, that's what they are. Petrified giant whales. Oh my days. So what we're trying to say is that many years ago, everything grew to an enormous size. Vegetation, animals, even humans. And at some point, there was a cataclysm that petrified many living things and turned them into stone. But the eyes are useless when the mind is blind.
We are the ants, living on top of the remains of giants. Massive giants. What you thought were just piles of rocks are anything but. But the eyes are useless when the mind is blind. They say it's nothing more than a coincidence, or just pareidolia. But how many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? And if it was just seeing random faces and mountainsides, maybe that pareidolia argument might hold some water. But supposed inorganic rock, leftover magma from some ancient volcanoes, whatever they want to explain it away with, does not repeat organic patterns found only in nature and repeating with life again and again and again. This is not a coincidental pattern, but a naturally repeating pattern found in all life, large and small. You see, we live in such a controlled and carefully crafted narrative of a world that we are told to dismiss what our eyes and ears show us. If history is nothing more than a set of lies agreed upon, and our news media today is much of the same, what do you think all the other subjects they taught us are? Like geology and biology. Perhaps those two subjects are one and the same. Perhaps geology is nothing more than hardened biology. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
About to ruffle some feathers with this one, dude, for real. This is Urbano Monte's 10-foot planisphere from 1587. Anything ancient, they always say they draw what they saw. Now, y'all look up here. Look at all these creatures, man. Y'all explain to me why. Some random dude would just draw all these weird creatures and cryptids if they weren't real, man. What the heck is that thing? Hold on. This is about to get so crazy, you're not going to know what to think, really. I mean, it blew my mind the first time I saw this. Just to know this thing is over 500 years old. Whoa, never mind. Hold on, let me cover that up. Okay. Anyways, check out the next one. This is just mind-blowing, dude. Somebody, look right here. Look at these creatures, man. This hadn't even got, look, that thing is picking up an elephant. It looks like a daggum bird grabbing an elephant. What are those things in the water right there, man? Daggum sea creatures? Now, really and truly, somebody explain to me what on earth this thing even is. What is it? And how did he know to draw this unless, did he see something? Maybe. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I have no clue what the heck that daggum thing is right there, though, dude. Daggum. I mean, really, and this little thing right here I'm about to show y'all, this is the weirdest thing on this entire map. Hold on. It's like a daggum 50-foot little, what is...
I mean, I would love to go in a building like this, right? So this is horse and wagon time, 1893, and they're building buildings like this, riding around on buggies, but then having coffee in a place like that, right? That was right on the water. Here is one. Look at this picture. These are people on a beach, right? And they have umbrellas, which is just weird. So let me just zoom in real close right there. They're on the beach and they have umbrellas, and they're also wearing suits, which don't make any sense. And what's interesting about this picture is in this picture, if you can see all the way back there, see that boat? That huge boat? So this is 1893, right? You got people on horse and wagon. They got dirt roads. You know, they're supposedly going around on their buggies and, you know, riding around on their buggy, farming and whatever nonsense that we've been told. And then you have ships that look like this. That doesn't seem to really fit the narrative, right? So 1893.
Do you see it, people? This is New York City, 1865 to 1898. This is 160 years ago, people. Right around after the Civil War, people. Slavery was still going on, people. And look at the city, people. Do you see this, people? The city's already here, people. It's already built. Look at the Frat Island building, people. Do you see this, people? New York City. Look at the horse and carriage. Look at the trolleys, people. Do you see this? How is this possible, people? Hey, people, this is Brooklyn, New York. 1786, people. Brooklyn, New York. 1776, people. Do you see it, people? This is the true history of Brooklyn, New York, people. The history they don't want you to know, people. Do you see it, people? Do you see the buildings? The British occupy New York. Do you see it? Do you see the Brooklyn Bridge right there in 1776, people?
Y'all, I'm about to crash out, y'all. Are y'all familiar with this face? This is the dude that been making gasoline out of plastic. I'm pretty sure we all seen his face at least one time, bro. We all have to keep our head on a swivel. He been trying to tell us that they're trying to get him. Pay attention to this shit.
Alright, listen everybody. I can't go into too much detail, but there is some very, very odd stuff going on. I'm certainly under attack right now in many different ways, and I just want everybody to know to just kind of have your eyes open. And I have my eyes open, but there's a lot going on. So I'm still working. I'm still building. Nothing's gonna stop that. I'm just telling you guys right now, be on the lookout, because I'm under attack.
Now, mind you, y'all, that was his last post on his Instagram. He last posted July 9th. This is literally days later, and I have not seen one video of Cuz. Also, my homie made something clear to my head. He's like, bro, what if he didn't just find something? What if he is exposing something? Think about what I just said, bro.
I'm gonna say this one time real loud with my full chest, so go ahead and hear me out on this one. If working is mandatory, if labor is something we are required to do in order to prove we deserve our existence, if we have no choice but to choose an occupation whether or not we want it, if you are forcing me to sell my body to do somebody else's labor and telling me I have no other choice and neither does anyone else, you shouldn't have any other choice but to give us a roof over our heads, food for our stomachs, and whatever else we need to survive! If you want us to be forced to work, but do not want to guarantee life necessities, that is slavery, you fuckwads! This country loves slavery, they just rebranded it! And don't tell me to leave! I would if I had the fucking money! But that's the whole point of this system, you dumb fucks! Fuck this country!
So everybody's making a big old deal right now because Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie are in Veracruz right now in a place called Catemaco or Catemoco. I hope I pronounced it right. And right away you can tell who's actually from Mexico and who isn't just by the comments. The ones that are from here are like, oh my god, they're so humble, Salma Hayek's so humble, never forgetting her roots and blah blah blah. I swear my people are so asleep. And then you have the locals from Veracruz, which are saying what it really is, and they said it's not a good reason. They're there, but it is not for a good reason. Why? Because that place, Catemoco, Catemaca, whatever, is actually the capital of the brujas, the capital of the witches.
This is wild. Peter Thiel's name is an anagram for the reptile, meaning that if you take the letters in his name and scramble them around, they spell out the reptile. This is crazy because there's a long-standing conspiracy theory that there's an elite group of people that rule the world that are shape-shifting lizards. And it's been well documented over the years. People who believe this claim that you can tell who is a reptile because they don't sweat. Because of course, either do reptiles. Juliette Bryant, one of Epstein's victims and survivors, claims that her and other victims watched Epstein and his colleagues shapeshift into a lizard, and she even drew a picture of it.
You really think you lot built this? With bricks, ropes, and guesses? Come on.
We built for energy and healing. You build boxes that drain the soul. You tore out healing circuits and poured concrete on them. Genius.
Our domes pulled power from the sky. Yours leak rain and fund politicians.
Everything here vibrates wrong. Your cities buzz like broken tuning forks.
TVs are black mirrors. Why do you think you can see yourself so clear in that reflection? But aren't black mirrors used in WC? For W's to channel S's? Television, right? And what do W's do? They tell you a vision. And then when you turn on your television that has a black mirror, you then choose your channel. No, that's not true. Do you get it? But ain't nothing to get because this video is for entertainment purposes only. We're just playing around here. That's all we're doing here. We just making things up. And then when you go to your favorite channel, you then continue on to your daily programming. Now, listen, this is what somebody told me. And I don't believe it. Even though they put it together so good, I don't believe it at all. And be wise. Be wise. Be wise. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
Guys, I'm gonna blow your mind. You need to watch this video. I'm gonna blow your mind. So, I am just now finding out about the Rapa Nui Island, which is Easter Island, right? Hold on, let me pull up a picture. These giant figurine heads that are on Rapa Nui Island called the Maui, I don't know how to say it. But all I know is the indigenous people here say, oh my gosh, this is crazy. The indigenous people say that they walked here. And everybody laughs at them. They're like, what are you talking about? And they said that they were once giants, and essentially they're petrified giants in the ground. Okay, so there's that, right? Now scientists have used this like new technology. I don't remember what it's called, like a protein light beam, whatever. They use that to take an AI image to find out how much deeper it goes and what the body of these colossal monuments look like. Yo, tell me why it went down for like 30 feet. Okay. And on the backs of these and the chest of these, it is Egyptian hieroglyphics, but a certain dialect called Reformed Egyptian. And they're wondering how in the world these monuments could have Egyptian writing when it's all the way in Chile.
So the Pentagon actually confirmed for once the video of the pyramid-shaped UFOs caught off the Navy vessel. So you're going to see, I'm going to show you the video on here. But it's basically, it's in the night vision, and they released it and it was all over, and I was kind of like, okay, you know, we have a lot of videos, we do, because there was footage from a year ago and then 2 years ago also from a Navy vessel, and that just kind of got buried. But the Pentagon has consistently been going on and on about there's no evidence whatsoever of any of this stuff. We see nothing. There's nothing going on. Everybody shush. So I don't show very many videos, UAP videos. They're all over the place. There have been some really good ones coming up lately, so I am going to put those up because they're pretty intriguing. But this one I found, and I just feel like this is a step in the right direction. The fact that they actually confirmed that this is a real video that they captured. Plus, it looks pretty cool.
Say it ain't so. If you have a microwave, you should watch this video until the end, share it with someone you love, care, and respect, and this is for educational purposes only. And after watching this video, comment your thoughts and let me know how you feel about this. And yes, I have a microwave too. We're all cooked.
Okay, I want to tell you something that no one really ever talks about, but this really matters. If you're still using a microwave, you need to know what it's actually doing, not just to your food, but to your biology. Back in the 70s, Soviet scientists studied microwave radiation extensively, and the findings were so disturbing they actually banned microwave ovens in 1976. Why? Because they found that microwaved food had structural changes that the body interpreted as foreign. The proteins were denatured in ways that disrupted enzymatic recognition. Blood samples taken after eating microwaved food showed signs of immune stress and altered redox states. So this isn't about fear, it's about fields. Microwaves heat by causing water molecules to violently oscillate, not gently warm, but agitate. That agitation doesn't just heat the food, it scrambles the hydrogen bonding that structures water, which means you're left with something energetically incoherent. Food without phase, without charge, is terrain noise. So no, it's not just about nutrients being lost. It's about eating something your mitochondria don't even recognize.
Listen up. Y'all, there's literally a video in Spanish talking about what to do if you hear the trumpets. Bubba News posted it a little while ago. Watch this.
What to do if you hear the trumpets. Do not go outside. Lock your doors and windows. Do not look up. Do not attempt to record the sound or share it on social media. The signal has already been detected by international systems and does not come from any human or meteorological source. The sound has been recorded on multiple frequencies at the same time, and its pattern does not match any known instrument. If you are among the first to hear it, move away from other people. Do not talk to anyone who claims to have understood the message. If meaningless phrases begin to be repeated, in a low voice or in sync, leave that area immediately. Do not follow anyone who moves toward the source of the sound. They no longer respond. If your house begins to shake slightly or the lights dim, find a place without windows and remain silent. Do not respond to any calls from outside, even if you recognize the voice, especially if it comes from above. After the third trumpet, the sound becomes internal. Some begin to hear it inside their skull. If that happens, write down what you hear and burn the paper without reading it. Don't share it. Don't say it. The signal seeks to replicate itself. Remain silent. Remain in the shadows. Don't pray. Don't look to the sky. Don't respond to the sound. Trumpets don't announce anyone's arrival. They are the warning that he is already here.
I, for one, will be running outside looking up. This is just more deception with the alien invasion hoax.
You might say I'm reaching, but give me 1 second. How does one come up with the theory, the blueprints, and the idea, and the technology to see through human skin to into the bones and into the brain tissue? In just over 100 years, we went from bloodletting and no planes to all this super technological stuff from nothing. That's the point. From nothing, we randomly learned how to do all of this stuff. Someone or something out there helped us to be the technological people that we are today. You know, last year I made this video about how the Apple chip I was theorizing was fallen angel technology. And although about everybody stole the video and the idea from me before they all were stealing it, everyone was telling me I was reaching. And by the way, I'm glad the idea was taken and pushed through so many people, because it's important that we're aware that we may have had help. But of course, you should be crediting people with their discoveries, but I digress. You know, we have another eclipse coming, but there is something very weird about the last eclipse. There were theories that we received some kind of technology in the process of it, and then the AI took off like we've never seen. And we'll talk about that tonight because it's happening again at the beginning of August. In the book of Enoch, it talks about the fallen angels coming down and giving technology, insight, and wisdom to mankind. And we know from archaeology and archaeological finds that humans used to be very, very advanced. That right there is a story for a different time. So is it really a reach to say that we had supernatural help to make something out of completely nothing? Before you answer, you should know this, that most modern technology all came from ideas and principles from Tesla, which he claims he got from other sources. It makes sense.
Yeah, the only hardcore thing is that there is a extremely classified document dealing with religion, and it's about that thing. Period. But why would there be any classified material dealing with religion?
I want to go back to the religion thing. I want you to say it.
Oh, come on, that's so weird.
I'm not asking you to say what you believe to be a fact. I'm asking you to say what you read in a report that is distributed at what may be the most top secret facility in the world. Okay. Nice.
All right, I'll put that. It's so far out.
All right, your rejection has been noted.
Okay.
What does it say?
That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us. That we are nothing but containers.
Containers of?
Containers. Maybe containers of souls. You can come up with whatever theory you want, but we're containers. And that's how we're mentioned in the documents.
Okay, the thing squiggles in through the eye.
Now that man's name is Donald Marshall. How many of you have heard of him before?
There's a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch, and then it does a feeling like holding your breath and going...
Oh look, it's the Pope, and Boy George, and other people, all with a black eye. Isn't that coincidental?
Since consciousness is gone, the body is absolutely, totally dominated.
So, somebody tell me why all of these celebrities, every single person that we've watched or listened to growing up throughout our whole lives, why have they all ended up with black eyes? And it's not just one-time things either. They don't just have a black eye once either, do they? So can somebody just fill me in? What is all the black eyes for?
This behind me is Corinthia, Greece. Do y'all think that this is some kind of coincidence that Corinthia, Greece itself is on fire? This video is wild because for a second it looks like a tornado of fire. Greece is just one of many locations that are on fire right now, but Corinthia, Greece is literally where the church of Corinth was. The same church that Paul dealt with harshly, so harshly to where they said he was a false teacher, a false Christ follower. And the fact that it's in flames right now is just very revelating to me.
Isn't that real weird?
Yeah, we know. But this is just one fire out of hundreds of fires. Speaking of fires, heat, Dubai had a 1 a.m. temperature heat index of 130 degrees Fahrenheit. In the middle of the night. That's deadly heat, but let me show you what it's doing. As we enter the hurricane season, you can see how the very top of this line, how obnoxiously high we are. Because the surface temperature of the water itself is obnoxiously high. Completely 1000% unrelated. We talk about frequency here an awful lot. And about energy, vibration, and friction in the air can cause certain things to happen. Like the last video I showed you, and this right here, and this up here, things like this aren't supposed to happen every single day. But who knows why these things are happening every single day. We saw 10 of these formations in the United States last week alone. So I guess my question is it all really just random? Of course it is.
I've seen physical beings that are definitely not like our animals up here come out of these spaces from inside the earth. I've seen in deep underground military bases, dogmen, like you would kind of describe them, some more humanized. And I think a lot of those were experimentation and genetic splicing. I think a lot of that was gene editing stuff that I've seen. But I do believe that some of these things are holdovers from the old days. They're the last of their kinds, and they've been breeding them. Right. And I believe that that's the stuff that's prophesied that's going to come back out and cause the hearts of men to stop for fear of looking after these things that are coming up on the earth. You know, that's why everywhere I went throughout my youth, I could go to these tunnels and these caves and call out, and I could hear them and they would call back, you know, and it's like it's a seductive power that draws you back into it.
You could call out to them? Like, yeah. Was it like a language or a sound or what?
Oh, yeah, man. You can learn to call to them. You can go out here in these hills out here and do it. You can still do it tonight. On these full moons and stuff, you can start calling out. You'll think you'll hear coyotes at first, and then all of a sudden it's a totally different, you know, it's a different sound that starts to resonate. And then it's a different one that calls off from over here, right? You got to understand some of these guys that you think are just neighbors and stuff or just people, like this is what they keep in their barn, you know? This is the stuff they keep. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for watching. See you next time.
And you're the motion. You never shine.